change the f of x to a y, and I can write that over here. Y is equal to the square root of x plus 2. To find the x-intercept, we're going to make y equal to 0. Crystal, how do you get rid of the square root? We're going to do the power of 2 on both sides. Class, what's 0 squared? The square root and the exponent are opposite, so they cancel, and you're left with x plus 2. And then we subtract and get x equals negative 2. When y is 0, we get negative 2. Okay? Raise your hand if you got that. Good job. Tell us how to find the y-intercept. Enoch?
Make 0 x.
Uh-huh. 0 plus 2? If our x is equal to 0, y is radical 2, so my order pair is 0 radical 2. Raise your hand if you got that. Alright. So that's a review of what we've done. That'll help us graph it by hand. The next thing I want to do is really this. Find the domain algebraically. Remember, we talked about how if I think about x values, if I put a negative value here, that's okay, but I eventually do not want to take a square root of a negative number, because the square root of a negative number is I, the complex. So all of this has to be greater than or equal to 0. You cannot have a negative number in the square root. To solve this inequality, I subtract 2, and I get x is greater than or equal to negative 2. Now, inequalities aren't great, so we can put this in integral notation. So let's kind of graph this. And I'll show you on 2 types of graphs, a number line and an x and y coordinate. So if you just graph that really quickly, at negative 2, that's a closed circle, and you would be going in this direction, right? And then if you drew this in integral notation, you have a bracket, negative 2, comma, infinity, because you have an arrow here, right? Now if we actually put this in our calculators, we can actually get a real graph of the function. The square root button is over here. It's in yellow, so my calculator has to press second, and then the x squared button. It opens the parentheses for me, and I'm going to put in x plus 2, close the parentheses, and then I'm going to press zoom 6. Here is actually a real picture of our graph. This is a square root problem. Let's just go ahead and put in all of our pieces here. 0, negative 2 is our x-intercept. Everyone say label. You don't want to miss points for not labeling it. 0, radical 2 is our y-intercept. And our square root function looks like this. You didn't have to graph it, but I want to show a visual of where, algebraically, where is our domain. The domain is in interval notation here.